Let's go to northern Italy, and in Milan is Costanza Hermanin, who's an migration policy analyst. Sorry, Costanza. The interior ministers of Germany and France are in Tunisia. They're supposed to be meeting the Tunisian President Kais Saied. How much is the EU actually helping here, or is it creating a bigger problem simply by throwing money at North African countries and telling them, you need to stop people getting on the boats?
Hello, thanks for the invitation. I'm joining you from Florence, actually, European University Institute. The EU is causing problems. Well, it's the states causing problems because they are giving very little power to the EU to do something. Migration, as Mr. Rawi was saying before me, is a national competence, is used for political purposes to gain and to win elections upon the fear of migrants. And this is why the EU, that is a very technical body, is not getting the competence to manage it. So there is a lot of driving from capitals, and even the money that is passed through the European Union comes from these capitals. For instance, Italy has been traditionally giving a lot of money to the Libyan government, even though there isn't really a government. So it has been giving money to the formal government, but also to tribes that control the desert and all this, and also vessels for the Libyan coast guards and so on and so forth. And this is very problematic, obviously. Probably there is a problem, which is that the EU hasn't much competence and leverage on capitals that are very influenced by populist party, extreme right party, that make their campaign on an anti-migrant, anti-Muslim sentiment.
Okay, many people would accuse Giorgia Meloni's Italian coalition government of having that kind of position, considering it has members of the far right and Matteo Salvini's Lega party and his anti-immigration stance. How much more pressure should the EU as a bloc and as individual countries be putting pressure on Greece? Greece, for years, has been illegally pushing migrants back, and there are pictures to prove it.
Yes, absolutely. The EU and the other countries of the bloc haven't been pushing that much on Greece, I believe, because of the disastrous financial situation of Greece since 2014. So it was difficult for the other states to ask Greece to invest money to manage this. Now that Greece is a little bit better off, I think that the pressure will increase. Yes, the other states and also the European Commission has been closing their eyes on the many refugee camps that look so much more like prisons than refugee camps that have been set up in Greek islands. Now, the problem is that, as you know, there have been elections in Greece. There are going to be elections again in Greece, and any political force cannot afford, politically speaking, the idea of saying, yes, we have been wrong. We are not telling the truth about this shipwreck. Also because, as you probably know, the extreme radical right-wing party movement Raising Down has been outlawed, but it's still the extreme right-wing, anti-migrant, anti-Muslim has a lot of support in Greece. So nobody will defend migrants, will say that Greece has a wrong policy on this. And that's problematic, obviously.
Costanza Hermanin, I'm very, very happy to hear you're in Florence. No disrespect to Milan, but you can't really beat Firenze, can you, for beauty? Thank you so much, Costanza.
Thank you for the invite.